Excellent. And we're back with this practice for transparency or not transparency, transformations and rigid congruency. So classify each triangle by its angles and sides and equal angles. If any are indicated in each, blah, blah, blah. So everything's marked up. All right, number 29. Nothing's marked, therefore nothing's the same. And if I look at it, it looks pretty acute. Nothing looks more than 90 degrees, doesn't even look close to 90 degrees. So I'm going to call it acute, but then I'm going to take it that step further and say scaling. It's acute because none of the angles are greater than 90 degrees, and it's scaling because none of the angles or sides are the same. All right, number 30. Look at this. We got mark, mark. That means those are the same. Mark, mark. That means those are the same. Well, this is a right triangle, first of all, because it's got a right angle. And because we have this symmetry, that makes it an isosceles. Cool. So that's how we go about doing this, just by markings. Let's see what else we have going on. So same idea now, but now for this one, you need to look at the numbers, not the markings. So first of all, I see a 90 degrees, so that means this is a right triangle. And if it's a right triangle, let's see if there's anything else. Is it isosceles? Is it equilateral? It can't be equilateral, in fact, if it were a right triangle. Cannot. It's not. So it's just a right acute. Actually, not acute. It's a right scaling because none of the sides match up. All right, let's look at 35. Ooh, these are pretty because it's got 1, 2, 3 the same. 1, 2, 3 the same. That makes it equilateral. Excellent. Piece of cake, though. Let's see what else we got going on. Also, draw something. We could draw something. Sure, we could. So if it's an obtuse scaling, so that means we need to have an obtuse angle in it, and none of the sides can be the same. So I have like a long, medium, short side, and this is definitely bigger than 90 degrees. So you can draw those as well. All right, now let's jump right into this final piece here. Find the measure of each angle indicated. Well, this uses some information because I know that this little 57, if I were to flip it around, it would kind of fit right there. And this 42, let's go ahead and color that in red. If I were to translate it over, it would fit right here. And these would make a perfect line. So let's see how we could do this. If I were to draw kind of this line and extend it out, and then let's say I were to draw another line and kind of make it parallel to that line there. That's how it would split up. So what happens then is this is 57 and this is 42, and you put those together and they make a straight angle, which is 180. So I know then that the question mark plus 57 plus 42 is going to add up to 180 degrees. Excellent. So 5 and 4, that makes 90, plus 7 plus 2. 7 and 2 makes 11. So that's going to give me 101. Plus the question mark. I'm forgetting the question mark. Question mark, question mark, question mark equals 180. So now altogether, that means that the question mark is 79. Piece of cake, right? Yeah, I kind of took up some extra space there, but I was trying to show the colors and put everything together. But that's kind of the calculation work you would show. All right, let's look at down here at 45. A little bit different, but really not that bad. Really, really not that bad. So I'm going to build it the same way that we built the other one. Here's the idea. So if we have, actually, let's take that little arrow out of there. There we go. So if I kind of stretch this out, and then I'm going to make another line here parallel to that one, or pretty close to it at least. The first thing I can notice is that this 60 would fit right there. And then this blue one, which is x plus 56, is going to rotate and fit right there, which is pretty cool. So there we go. That's awesome. I love how this all works together. So that means we're going to have 70 plus the blue plus the red, which is 60, all adds up to 180. Well, let's take a look at this. 70 and 60, that's 130. So 130 plus the blue equals 180. That must mean then that if I were to subtract 130 from both sides, that the blue equals 50. Now I actually did that on purpose to kind of make it almost easier, because this x plus 56, sometimes we get all caught up in that. Like, what is that? And how do I use that? That's like two terms, not just one. So it's x plus 56. Now I'm going to do this again, and you're going to be like, well, this is weird. Why am I doing that way? So I'll subtract 50 from each of these. That would give me x plus 6 equals 0. Then I'll subtract 6. And let's see what we have now. X equals negative 6. Sweet. And it said solve for x. So that one's done. Let's do one more. We'll do 47. So 47, we got some action here. Which way do we want to go? I don't know. Let's say we do this. We'll go that way. So this is kind of convenient. That's one of the reasons I chose that, because if I know this is 90, the nice thing about 90-degree angles, it splits it on a straight angle perfect. So that's 90 degrees there as well. And then if I were to kind of draw the perpendicular one here, or parallel I should say, looks like it's about like that. Now let's color code. So this 40 degrees would go right here. That's 40 degrees. And then the, what's this other one? 6x plus 2, that would rotate into the opposite direction, and that would go here. So I have 6x plus 2 here, and 40 degrees up here. And together they make 90. Notice that this makes 90. I could say those plus 90 makes 180. But the blue and the red together are going to make 90. So the red plus the blue is going to equal 90 if I add those two together. So what's the red? That's my 6x plus 2. The blue is 40. Let's go ahead and take care of that. I'm going to subtract 40 from both of these. That means that the red is equal to 50. Well, the red is 6x plus 2. Excellent. So I could just subtract 2. And 50, 2 less than 50 is 48. That's pretty easy. 6x equals 48. Then I'm going to divide by 6. And 48 is really 8 times 6. So that gives me 6 over 6 is 1. And then x equals, well, 48 is 8 times 6. And that's divided by 6, which is 8. So there we go. There's the final answer. X equals 8. Solve for x. Done. All right, again, we're going to keep these videos short. This is the second video. We'll probably do at least one more, maybe two.